All right. What's good?
Hello.
Hey, Carly, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, and just thought I'd let you know that we on the air as of
Okay.
right now.
That
Uh,
is totally fine. Thank you. So
uh,
how are you?
I'm very good. It's been a long day, but I can't
Yeah.
complain. Really, it's a Saturday night. I'm doing a show. I have you on that this
That's
particular
not a
moment.
bad Saturday.
Nah, not a bad Saturday whatsoever. This is the third time that I am interviewing you. This is
Yeah.
this is the first time I'm interviewing you since you have officially changed your last name to Fanning. Uh,
Oh, yeah. And actually I've been married for 3 years. It took me a long time to change it. Um, yeah. It was weird. I was gonna change it immediately, and then it was just so weird having another last name. And then I hyphenated it, and then I decided I had to get rid of the hyphen because it was too annoying signing my own name because it was so long, and I just got rid of my Krantz, and now I'm a Fanning.
so when you release this up and coming unplug album, it will specifically say caller Fanning. I'm gonna call her. Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
actually, no. I'm gonna keep Krantz for music purposes. I think it's too confusing because I have so many things out there with Krantz on it. So I'm just gonna. I don't like to confuse people too much because I get confused real easily. So I figured I'd keep it simple.
You
So
know,
legally, I'm a Fanning. Musically, Carly
fair enough. That's
Krantz.
that's fair enough. So let's talk about this unplugged album. You have been working on it for quite some time, and what? Now you obviously have done studio music, you've done original songs and things like that. But what made you decide to focus on working on this unplugged record?
Well, I was in a band called Kenosha. That was the first band I was ever in. And, we were signed to Sumerian Records, I think in 2006. And we toured and we played a lot of big festivals. We did a lot of stuff, and we put out this album. You dug your grave, now lie in it. And the band broke up after that. And that's it's been 5, 6 years, and I've done a lot of stuff since then. And for some reason, I think for like Instagram, Throwback Thursday or Flashback Friday or something, I put up a picture, like a Kenosha picture, and my page just like blew up. Like people were like responding and liking and sharing, and I was like, oh, this is so bizarre. And I thought maybe it was like a freak thing, so I like tested it again. I put up another picture, and just people they still talk about how much they like the band. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just do a cover. Maybe I'll just like do one of our old songs and I'll do it on the piano or something. So I put up a post and asked, what do you want to hear? What's the song that you want to hear? And I got so many responses about every song on the album that I decided that maybe I would just go ahead and do like an acoustic, unplugged version of the entire album because Kenosha actually never played acoustic. I think we did it one time. So it's something that no one's ever heard, and people seem to be really excited about it. So it just kind of seemed I didn't want to do one song and cheat someone out of a chance to hear the song that they wanted to hear. So doing the whole album just kind of seemed like the right thing to do.
Now that's what I call popular demand. What the people want, or in this case, what your fans want, and you are delivering it to them, and that's good that you are getting quite the reception that you have getting, since you decided to work on this record. And I played some old songs of yours that you sent me about a year or two ago. Then I went on to play the song that you emailed me. It's called Until This Day, and it's going to be off the Unplugged record, from
Yeah.
my understanding. So, talk about the meaning behind the song Until This Day.
Until I did, I honestly don't write love songs. I, normally, my songs are generally I have to be really angry at you to write a song, and I we just had, these riffs to this one song, and it just sounded too pretty and too happy to have an angry message behind it. So I wrote my one love song. I was dating someone at the time, so I wrote it for them. We broke up, so I just now say that now it's just a love song. But I don't think I've written another one since that song. So I think, enjoy it, because I don't necessarily know how many more love songs I'll be writing.
That's interesting, considering, I guess every artist, whether it's indie, whether it's major labor artists, you have love songs out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in your case, you have distanced yourself from the quote-unquote love songs. Is there any particular reason why you have distanced yourself? Is it maybe past relationships, or just something maybe you want to start a trend of, perhaps?
No, you know what? Some people are really, some people are really very inspired by, seeing happy things. And I kind of find in my life when things are okay, I have nothing to write about. And actually, since I think the past 7 months, things have been all right, and I've kind of sat at my piano and gone, what the hell am I going to talk about? So when I'm angry, when things are going bad, it's really like writing a song is my way of just kind of getting it all out and dealing with the situation. So, it's not that I'm against love songs. I just find them very hard to write. So I write, my angsty, angry music, and that's pretty much where I pull from.
That's understandable. Artists talk about what they feel, what they're going through, and sometimes artists are willing to open up on past relationships and things like that, and while others want to go a different direction, or maybe what you're doing maybe the love songs don't quite fit on what you're trying to do with this Unplugged album. I guess it just depends what fits and what doesn't fit. So it could be that particular reason that you have distanced yourself from for love songs, and it's understandable. At the end of the day, it's all about what fits the record, and if love songs
and I'm not ever opposed to writing one. I kind of listen to the music first and see what the kind of vibe that I get from it. So if I end up writing a song that it should, I feel it should be about that, then I would definitely, I wouldn't want to cheat the song any. But it just turns out so far I haven't really written music that makes me think about love songs.
So, with this record, how many songs do you plan to work on, and how many songs do you plan to eventually have on this record? Like, how many songs do you want to be on this record?
Well, it's the entire album that we put out as Kenosha. I'm doing an unplugged version of every song on the album. So I think it's 8 songs and 1 instrumental segue. So I think it's like 9 tracks.
And do you know when this record will be available, coming out?
I'm shooting for end of August, maybe September, because this one's a little bit harder because we use so many effects and delay and a lot of guitar work that it's so hard to recreate on a piano or on an acoustic guitar. So some of the songs I'm completely redoing, and some of them, like Until This Day, that actually, I wasn't even going to do piano on that song. I was going to play it on guitar, but I went through and was just practicing on the piano. It sounded so cool on the piano that I just left it. So some of them will be pretty much like the original, and some of them will be just completely redone. It just depends on the song. So I don't want to say a specific date until I'm further along, because it's some of these songs have to be built from the ground up. It's a little bit of a process. I kind of overextended myself, but I'm excited about it.
Well, I will say this, that I am looking forward to this record, and
Thank you.
The fact that you are putting out music, whether it's studio or unplugged, is a huge plus for me. You have it's been quite a while since you put out some music in particular, and I'm very anxious to hear this record. Usually I'm more into studio music, in studio
Mhm.
music, if you will. I mean, I do listen to unplugged music from time to time, but when I heard yours, I was hooked.
Oh,
I was
thank you.
it was very convincing, and I like what I heard.
Thank you.
Music is
Well,
all.
I think it's cool because, and I don't think a lot of people realize that I play something, and because I don't really do it too often. If I'm singing at a show, I kind of like to do, yeah, I like to sing and I like to focus on that, and I don't want to focus on too much because I I freak out a little bit. But this was a cool thing to do to get to sit down with these songs and with a guitar player and rebuild them, and I actually get to play and on the album and. It's cool to do something that I don't normally do. So I'm excited to do it. I'm happy to do it, and I'm glad you like it.
Absolutely. So what did you consider as an artist? What do you consider is the biggest challenge for you? Is it working on a studio album or working on an unplugged album?
You know what? I've been playing acoustically a lot lately, so that's where I find my biggest comfort. I'm very comfortable doing that now. But I would say that recording in general is really hard on me. If I go and I do a live show and I'm into it and I'm in my element and I'm really enjoying it. But I feel like just in the studio there's like a brain fart and I guess I get too worried about the fact that I'm recording it like it's official. And it kind of psychs me out a little bit. So I'm not a huge fan of recording vocals, but I do love writing the music, and like arranging it and composing it. So that's fun. It's just recording vocals is not my favorite.
I got you. I've always thought that working in studio is definitely a challenge because you're in the studio, you're with a producer, and it's the beat that you sing to the beat, and you want to make sure that it sounds the way it's supposed to sound, and it may take after take after take, and
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
voice it could be a handful, or in this case, it could be a mouthful, if you will, and but I guess that's just how I feel about it. As far as acoustic unplug, it's like I guess it brings back the essence of music. It's just guitars, instruments, because you don't hear that on music a lot these days. It's like it's a
No, you
producer.
don't.
It's just producer beats. Now you may hear some instruments from time to time, but not collectively. And I guess and I appreciate you for doing this because it just shows that there's some part of music that's not forgotten.
Thank you. Well, it's one of my favorite things when people play acoustic because, you can get up with, backtracks and all these electronics and, anyone can do a show like that. I think that it's really hard to sit down and it's just your voice and it's just, one guitar or it's just piano and there's nothing to hide behind. I think you have to be, you really have to be on top of your game. And like the first time I did acoustic, I was terrified because it is scary because you're like, oh, if I mess up, it's totally out. Everyone's going to hear it. But I'm glad that I stuck with it because now it's one of my favorite things to do. And you're right, a lot of people don't do that anymore. And it's one of my favorite things to see as a a music listener and a fan. I love when people break down a song and they just do an acoustic version of it. Sometimes I like that better than the original version of the song. So I hope that I hope I do this well, and I hope people enjoy it. And I hope they understand too that it's not going to be exactly the same as the first album. It'll be a little bit different because it is acoustic, but that they'll be open-minded to it and just enjoy it for what it is.
So with with this record on the verge of being complete, if not already, do you plan to have upcoming performances or like a semi tour perhaps? Just perform in smaller venues to promote this record?
I am thinking about it. I am dabbling. I don't want to say yes or no because I want to make sure that the album is what I want it to be and it's done. But I'm definitely toying with the idea of doing some shows. So I'm kind of just rolling with the punches here and seeing where this ends. And once it's done, take it from there. But it's definitely an idea that's on the table.
Okay, that's fair enough. And for the time being, people can be on the lookout for this record coming out in August or September, right around the late summer, early fall, if you will, autumn, whatever people want to call it. Be on the lookout for it. And in the time being, you can check out Carly on Facebook under her name, for clarification, Carly Krantz. And check her out. She got music on there. She'll post everything that's related to the record and any other music projects she may be working on. And
I'm always working on something.
And she's always working on something. I'm a fan of Shouting at Satellites, you and Sean.
Thank you.
And of
Thank
course,
you. I love that stuff.
And so, outside of the Unplugged record, is there any chance we can have some new music in the future from you and Sean?
You know what? We actually have six songs that we've started. I haven't written any vocals to them, but we have 6 songs in various stages of being done, and we are thinking about just, because we've never even played the music off the first one. We played like 2 shows, and that was it. We never played full band, and now that we're working with some new musicians, we're thinking about just doing another EP and maybe doing a couple original shows. So there's actually a lot going on for me in music. I just put out another pop EP with his name's Marco B, and it's like a production team. It's a bunch of songs where he created the beats and I wrote to it. And there was another girl named Alex, and she wrote to a couple of songs. And so we put that up for free download on SoundCloud. And I've got another EP that I'm actually finishing, and it's being mixed with the Nashville songwriting EP. So it's a little country rock that I did with a guy named Jeff Silver. So I have actually a lot. That's why I haven't really committed to any dates for the Kenosha thing, because I have so much that I have to just get done. So my head is kind of it's all over the place. So I'm trying to keep it open, but knowing that I'm shooting for August, September. But Shouting at Satellites is not gone. It's just on hold.
Or a better way to say on a hiatus. It's taking a break, taking a breather. All right?
Yes, we definitely have other stuff, and it's just there's no specific timeline on it. But we love that music. We love the new stuff that we wrote, and that's always going to be something that he and I will work on. So I would definitely say there will be another EP, and possibly some shows in the future. So we'll always let people know when that's going to happen, but that's probably one of our favorite projects. So it is not gone.
Well, Carly, it was great chatting with you, getting caught up with you, and hey, I definitely want to hear. I guess I need to go to that SoundCloud page, and I'll be happy to play some of the songs that you mentioned, and just thank you.
Absolutely, I'll email you a link.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Carly. Great chatting with you. We might as well call this the Carly trilogy, because that's just.
I know.
So I guess we're gonna have a Carly part 4, probably at least after the Unplugged come out, and just see how everything is coming along, and who knows?
Absolutely.
And if you like, I'm just gonna put this out there. August 23rd is the show's 7-year anniversary, and
congratulations! And, my birthday is August 28th, so it's right after that.
Wow. Well, if you would like to, just let me know, and we'll work something out. And
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time, Carly. You are the bomb diggity. I'm just gonna.
Oh well, thank you. Well, thank you. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate you having me on so many times.
All right, well, you have a great night.
All right, you too.
All right, bye bye.
Bye bye.